Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Emily here. Today we are going to do these DIYs and I am really excited to share these with you. So the first one, you're just going to want some jute twine, a shell or two, some scissors, a glue gun, and a jar. You can get all of this stuff at the Dollar Tree. So you're just going to start by wrapping that twine around the top of it and then placing just a little bit of glue, that way you can hold that edge together. And then you're going to start by kind of twirling it down the jar and then applying just a little bit of glue, that way it holds the twine in place. And you can add more loops around, or you can do less depending on what you want to do. And there I'm just adding another one, and then you're just going to do the same thing, loop it all the way around the bottom, and then you're going to want to cut it first and then place a little bit of glue, that way obviously it won't unravel on you and it will hold all of that twine at the bottom in place for you. Next, you're going to do the same thing to the top, just hold that down. You can add a bow if you want to, it's totally your choice. And then you're going to take your shell and you can place it anywhere you'd like. Get creative here. I'm just using this one that we picked up at the beach the last time we went, and I'm finally starting to do things with our beach decor that we keep picking up. And I put a tea light in it with some rocks, and this is what it will look like. Next one, you're going to want a glue gun or E6000. This mesh, which came from the Dollar Tree, they still have them, and then obviously another jar, some scissors, and twine, of course. Start by cutting out the wire mesh off of the basket, and you're going to determine the size by just basically placing your bottle on the mesh. And it cuts really easily with scissors, so you don't have to have wire cutters for this. And it's very flexible, so you can stretch it different directions. I'm taking my hot glue and just using that, but you can use E6000. Don't burn yourself here. And if you are using E6000, use like a little spatula or a little piece of wood to hold that together for yourself, and some tape possibly, because E6000 does take a little bit longer. And then I'm just taking the twine and I'm wrapping around the top so that I can cover up the frayed edges. You can do this to the bottom, but the bottom kind of curled under it just a little bit, and I'm tying a bow here and cutting that off. And then I'm just adding a little bit of glue so that way that bow can hold in place, but you can do the same thing without a bow, just holding that in place. And this is what it will look like. You can fill it with sand, rocks, we did that from the ones we collected at the beach, or even shells. I love the way this one turned out. For this one, you're going to want some shells or some coral, a vase, a fake light, scissors, twine again, and a glue gun. Most of the similar things here. So for this one, we're going to start by adding a little bit of glue to the very bottom and gluing our twine on. That gives us a nice base. And then you're just going to start by wrapping that all the way around as much as you can. And then what I like to do is just kind of push it all the way down to the very bottom and then add just a teeny bit of glue to it to hold it in place. And then you're going to start wrapping it all the way up again. And this is where you can push it down again, or you can leave it. I decided to leave it because I liked the way it looked. It looks a little bit more beachy. Add a little bit of hot glue and glue that in spot. And then, like I said, at the bottom, put a little bit of glue, that way it doesn't move. Figure out where you want to put your shells or your coral, and this is what you can get creative with it. I decided to just put a little bit of glue on the back of each piece and go ahead and glue that to the base, holding it in place, and that way it doesn't fall off until it's dried. I think it'd be really pretty if you did the whole vase in the twine, but I liked this alternative, and this is how it came out. Put your light in it, or you can fill it with rocks, again, shells, whatever you want it, but I really love the way this one came out. Oh, makes me so happy. This next one, you're going to want a glue gun, some shells, and a picture frame. I painted this one white because for me, beach is more white than it is black. So you can do that. You can use acrylic paint, spray paint, whatever you want, and then just start taking your shells and gluing them around the picture frame. It's pretty self-explanatory here, and you can get creative on how you want to place everything. You can also do this with rocks or coral, whatever you have to work with, but I really like collecting shells at the beaches that we go to, and then if you put it around a picture frame, then you have that memory of that whole trip, and I really like that. I've had these shells actually for a few years, which I'm finally getting around to doing these DIYs, and this is how this one came out. I really, really like it. So for this next one, you're going to want, again, the same type of jar, and this clasp jar is found in the kitchen area. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. And go ahead and fill it with your seashells or your rocks, and shells actually have quite a stench to them when they sit, so this helps keep out that smell from you, and it's a nice way to display your items that you got around your trip, especially beach items. This is something that we've actually been doing for the last few years, and I just think it's a really nice way to display the trip. And so this is kind of a collection of stuff that we have had over the years, and the last DIY is actually to take your sand from the different beaches and put it in the jars. My husband loves this, so we collect a little bit of sand from each beach we go to, and we write that at the bottom of it, and this is kind of like our little beach area in our house. It kind of keeps a lot of our memories and just a fun decor ideas, and those are the shells that we've picked up. So I hope you guys enjoyed these DIYs. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you soon. I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks for watching. Bye.